Did you start to worry that you could only write music from an unhappy place?
Yeah, and I think that is the case, and I think it's just a way of channeling it. I don't think sadness is always devastating. It can be quite uplifting and joyful as well, and sometimes you have to let yourself be sad in order to move forward. So once I sort of started looking at it like that, I was quite happy to do it. And I felt like I didn't need to let myself go this time in order to access my creativity, so that was good.
I'm sure all of you have been told that you don't have what it takes and that you may not be good enough and you don't have enough people supporting you, and you're being told all of these things when deep down it's all you want to do. You want to be a part of something great. You want to make something great. And it does more than knock the wind out of you. It crushes you when people try to tell you that you're not good enough. And it almost did for me, but there was my mom next to me, stronger than ever. And she said the most important thing is to always trust in myself.
Which is worse, failing or never trying?
Well, if you watch my movie, the title's Never Say Never. So I think that as long as you try and do your best, whether you fail or succeed, that's better than just not trying.
Came being pure and sincere and being honest, and that's all I know. I just got to be me. I don't know how to be nobody but me, and this is what I'm great at, so I'm gonna continue to do that. You know, I don't know if it rubs you the right way or the wrong way. It makes me feel good, so I'm gonna do it. If it's good to you, it must be good for you.
What's your advice for like women around the world who struggle with low self-esteem?
My advice is to, I mean, trust me, there are days that, you know, that I struggle with myself, you know, I'm human, and there's just days you can't really get with it, and you just need to actually probably cherish those days and, you know, pray about it. I'm a huge believer in prayer and God, and I feel like if He's a part of your life, then I feel like the sky's the limit, and you can overcome any obstacle in your life, whatever it is, depression or being not having confidence or whatever it is. And keeping good girlfriends around you, I think, is really special too.
Why do you think some people are limited in terms of their musical input into like what they're listening to?
I think people are limited because they're very well influenced by people that's around them or people that's in the media. You know, you see somebody criticizing something, you're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think like that. I'm only going to do what I like, straight up. And a lot of people have tunnel vision. Like you may see people talking about how if they get a lot of money or something like that, they're going to stay in the ghetto, they're going to stay in the projects. That means if you're staying there, you're going to allow your mother and your family to stay there also. And that's bullshit, straight up, you know. The change has to happen somewhere in your generation. You know, for my family, I'm saving money and I want my kids to start on another level. I don't want them to start in the projects. No, that means they have to build for their families. If they start at a higher level, you know, their families are going to get better. That means your generation down the line, they're going to have a foundation, you know, and I'm going to set the foundation, straight up.
What's the most abnormal? The most abnormal thing about my life is having sort of crowds form everywhere you go, and just everywhere. So that starts happening, and then you have to take security everywhere you go. All of a sudden, you realize that you have not been alone, truly, for 5 years.
And I'm making mistakes, and I'm learning from them, and I'm not afraid to make a mistake. I embrace mistakes. They make you who you are. I've never been afraid to fall, so. And I say all these things, but now I'm getting tested.
We all come to this world with a star, with a talent, and with a gift. And then, later, dreams are born. And no one, absolutely no one, has the authority to stop those dreams. You know, when I was 7 years old, I came to Los Angeles for the first time, and I passed by the Walk of Fame with my mother and a friend of hers who's actually here with us today. And I remember that my mom told me, Shaki, one day you're going to have your name on this place. If someone would have overheard this conversation, they would have thought that my mom was delirious. But she was not. And here we are. So I want to say to all of you to dream as big as you can.
Do you remember the last time where you wanted to be famous? What age you were? When that was like a thing where you would dream of like being on a stage and singing songs?
All the time. Oh my God, it's all that but it wasn't like I want to be famous. It was more like...
You want to be an artist?
I wanted to be recognized for what I did, you know? Like, but that was kind of my whole life up until it happened. Yeah, I also like kind of, the only time that I really was like, I want to be famous, I only wanted to be famous so I could be closer to Justin Bieber.
When I look at something online, it's such a tiny thing for me. I don't care if it gets 1 million views. It's so tiny because when I put that screen down, it's gone away.
I never understood it when people would say, oh, you know, in your 20s, you just need to be alone. And I never quite got it because they would never explain to me that it's so important to define yourself on your own terms. You think about it when you're in love. That person's opinion affects your opinions. And everything you do goes through this filter of how would they feel about it. Because if you're a caring person and you're in love, then that's what you do. But there's something really wonderful about changing your life if you want to, cutting your hair short if you want to, moving to New York if you want to, changing directions of your entire creative outlook if you want to, and having it only be on your own terms. So that's what I learned.
Don't be afraid to try whatever, even if the idea in the beginning is stupid. Yeah, you know, because a lot of ideas in beginning stages, not mine, of course. Mine are just insane from the moment I think of them. Of course. But sometimes ideas, you know, they're not always the greatest. Yeah. No, I mean, you know.
Don't be afraid to fail, basically, to get somewhere else, to get on the journey.
Absolutely.
No matter what. I don't care if the whole world is against you or tease you or say you're not going to make it. Believe in yourself, no matter what. No matter what. Some of the greatest men that have made a mark on this world were treated like that. You know, you're not going to do it. You're not going to get anywhere. They laughed at the Wright brothers. They laughed at Thomas Edison. They laughed at Walt Disney. They made jokes of Henry Ford. They said he was ignorant. He didn't have a college degree because he dropped out of school. Disney dropped out of school. They even took Ford to court to prove his intelligence. That's how far they went. Yeah. And these are men that shaped and changed our culture, our customs, the way we live, the way we do things. And I think God plants little seeds through people on the earth